Exciting stuff. You heard right. Basketball season is in full court now. The ACC men's hoops tips off this weekend on the CW.
And who better to give us a preview than the man with the mic, lead play-by-play announcer Tom Brenneman, joining us live. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us, Tom.
Audrey, Dylan, I hope you guys are doing all right this morning.
Very good,
yes. Thank you. Hope you are as well. So what are some of the big picture basketball storylines, teams, or players that fans should be watching out for out of the ACC this year?
Well, look, you guys are right in the heart of the ACC country, and there's probably more people that have forgotten about this stuff than I know. But what I know is every year when you initially think about the Atlantic Coast Conference basketball, you think about North Carolina and Duke. And Duke looks to be a major power again. North Carolina still got some growing to do. They've got a lot of young players. Duke, of course, has a lot of young players. Cooper Flagg off to an incredible start. Same thing with Thomas down there. They had a big win last night, knocking off number 2 Auburn. But, you know, you look at where you are, Wake Forest, as an example. You know, I think this is a team that as the season goes on, they've got a lot of new players. And that's what you're seeing now in college basketball, not just the ACC, but all across the country. Because of the transfer portal, you know, coaches are having to blend new guys and playing together and learning about one another. I think Wake Forest and Clemson are two teams that as the season goes on, I would very much keep an eye on to make the kind of run NC State sort of did last year, getting to the Final Four.
Okay. Sounds exciting. Thank you for that insight, Tom. Yeah. We heard that promo, too, just a minute ago. The first game's on the CW, Courtside Saturday's doubleheader, Syracuse at Notre Dame and Virginia at SMU. So give us a preview of these matchups. What do you think the keys to victory for these teams will be?
Well, you know, in both the Syracuse and Notre Dame cases, they had coaches there that were incredibly successful and there for a long, long time. Jim Boeheim won national championships at Syracuse. Mike Bray had NCAA tournament teams every year at Notre Dame. So now those two schools are having to kind of start all over again. Yes, they have familiar faces that have been there before as players, Autry and Syracuse and so forth, but it's still, when you have one person there for a long time, there is such a consistency, and now those schools are trying to build that back up again. Same thing in Virginia. I mean, everything down your way knows about Tony Bennett. You know, this guy won a national championship at UVA. He was in the NCAA tournament every single year, won 6 ACC regular conference championships, couple of tournaments, and then he decides 2 weeks before the season starts that he's going to step down. So, you know, Virginia's taken a few lumps early on, but they're a team that as the season goes on, as I mentioned, kind of like Wake and Clemson, I would expect them to really get it together. And then SMU, you know, I said on CW, because we have Atlantic Coast Conference football on the CW every single Saturday, just like we will by and large doubleheaders every single Saturday during the winter. SMU is the school to keep an eye on in the ACC. They've got a pile of money down there, and they've been very active in the NIL and in the transfer portal, and their basketball team has only lost one time. I'm excited to see them play this weekend.
Yeah, it should be exciting. Lots of shakeups in the ACC this season with head coaches for sure. And to me, it's shocking what a pile of money will get you in college sports now with things that have changed so much.
Well, I mean, you know, you just look at you look at SMU as an example. To join the ACC, SMU said, "Hey, look, we don't want any of the television money. If that's going to keep us out of the conference, is having to share TV money with us. Don't worry about it. We got it covered." So here's a school that's joined the conference, knowing it's not going to get a share of the television money for a handful of years, and they're like, we're good. And their football team has already won the regular season championship. They're playing in Charlotte this weekend against Clemson for the ACC title and a trip to the college football playoff, and their basketball team's going to be good.
They're here to play.
Yes.
Here to play for sure.
Really great to hear from you, Tom. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me this morning. All the best and happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody.
As always,
same to you.
Happy holidays. Yes, and enjoy Saturday. ACC men's basketball right here on the Triad CW. Tips off December 7th with the doubleheader beginning at noon between the Syracuse Orange and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
It's followed by a showdown between the Virginia Cavaliers and the SMU Mustangs at 2:15 in the afternoon.